I got the hot reads of the week right here. Bug Wars Issue 2, Jason Aaron, Mahmoud Assar. This is a wild series about a boy who finds this magical artifact that transforms him into the size of a bug. There's this huge war going on in his backyard. His brother's using a lawnmower to cut the lawn and it kills tons of the bugs. It's inside of this incredible war. He then enters this fantasy and yet very hostile and sexual and violent world of insects, right? And the young boy who gets turned into this, his father was an entomologist and he's carrying on in his footsteps. So it's this cool, violent, and exciting fantasy world told through the eyes of bugs. Justin Jordan is one of my favorite creators in comics. He brought us the incredible and violent world of Luther Strode here. He's back at it again with Chris Sheehan here with Mine Is A Lonesome Grave here. Not another story quite like this one here. This is the story of a man who's just gotten out of prison for killing his own wife. His child is still living in this small town, and there's this incredibly dark cult that sort of runs it. He was involved with it, so you get this sort of occult, supernatural element tied into this lonesome, miserable tale of this man who has done terrible things that he's somehow impossibly trying to make right. Here he's got guilt hanging over him. There is a regret sensation to it. There's also these dark layers in the treachery amongst the family members and the cults in this small town. Certainly something you got to check out. We got Tin Can Society here. We're all the way up to issue 6 here. This is through Rick Remender's Giant Generator on Image. Here, Peter Warren and Francesco Mobili are killing it with this thing. This is essentially a murder mystery story told about a group of friends who made a pact together when they were young kids. One of them develops advanced technology to fix his broken legs, ultimately ends up becoming a superhero, then he's murdered, and the remaining friends are now trying to find out who murdered him and why. It is wildly interesting. It has incredible twists and turns. Check out this incredible art by Francesco here. Just rad stuff. The Moon is Following Us, issue 7, Daniel Warren Johnson, Riley Rossmo. Wow, this series keeps delivering. Check out this incredible B cover here by Daniel Warren Johnson. This is the mother of a child who gets trapped in a dream world and is being taken over and essentially killed by these dark dreams. Mom and dad enter the world to try and save their daughter. And what's so cool about it is anything can happen. Look what her weapon becomes. It becomes this staff with a severed shark on the end of it that's biting things. That's her weapon of attack. You get wildly incredible double pages like this with these impossible monsters and creatures all crashing together because you're in the dreams and nightmares of a young girl and her parents trying to save them. This story keeps escalating. It has incredible twists and turns. Friends become foes, allies become enemy. Gotta read. This is Fish Flies here, issue 7. The entire arc has come to an end here. The hardcover is now going to be out and available soon here. I loved this story here by Jeff Lemire. His classic style here, small town girl who is rejected and hated by society, abused by her dad, becomes friends with this monstrous bug that turns out to be this man who accidentally killed a young boy during this dark season of the year. He transforms into this bug. He kind of has to pay his dues and somehow make things right. So it's a story of a young girl who's been hated by society and now has a friend in this monster. Incredible storytelling, gotta read. I'm back here with Patrick Piazzolungo, one of my favorite artists here, with Dark Horse here, Kyle Starks. Those Not Afraid. This story is the telling of two serial killers who are competing to be the best serial killer, and they end up teaming up to break the all-time record. Wild tale, gotta check it out. Patrick's art, great as always. Huge Detective issue 4. This story is incredible. It keeps taking twists and turns you wouldn't expect. This is big reveals here on who the killer is, some of the backstory behind it here. This is an incredible world where these monstrous people that are 400 or 500 feet tall have invaded the earth, and humans and the huge have decided to figure out that the huge would just live in Australia and the rest of the world would live in America. And then one of these huges comes to America and is trying to find out why one of the huges has been killed, because they essentially live forever. There's this asteroid that's coming towards Earth, essentially this flaming skeleton of a huge that's headed towards the planet here. And also these humans sometimes get paid to be little like dolls in these houses that these huge have. So humans get treated in this sort of perverse way. Wild world, gotta read it. Mothra here with Sophie Campbell and Matt Frank now. I have been loving what they've been doing with their Godzilla universe here. They've transformed it into this incredible, enjoyable world. Godzilla Heist, something definitely to read. This is the story of Mothra, who has essentially died, and these two twin sisters that need to go back in time to save her here. It has a slight teenage girl angle to it in its writing and its story. storytelling, but I think that's on purpose, as that might be its intended audience here. But you got this mind-blowing art here by Matt Frank. This is definitely a book I would check out if the world of Godzilla is something you want to explore. AJ Lieberman, Mike Henderson here on The Hive. Wow, this is a wild thriller of a story. It's about this nefarious group known as the Hive, and there is a queen bee, if you will, and they figured out how humans vibrate at certain frequencies, and if they can manipulate those frequencies, they can control people in the same way beehives and other insects control the hive, and they then send them to do criminal activities and manipulate the world here. Lots of layers to this intrigue story. Really recommend it. You have a really nice art style in this book here that complements this dark thriller. Scott Hoffman and Alberto Patticelli with Warm Fusion. This is issue 2 here. Issue 3 is coming up soon here. I've loved this story. It's got just tremendous art in it here. This is the story of a detective trying to hunt down a killer and an evil doctor in a near future world where cybernetic parts have come into play. People are replacing arms and legs. The victims of this killer are prostitutes, and this detective gets intermingled with them.